Today is my last day here in Laos, and after a month here, I would like to recap and give you my final thoughts on what I think about this country in case you're thinking about coming here. Some of the things I'll be touching on are the prices, the people and the culture, the food, the activities and tourism that's available, the party scene and nightlife, the girls and the dating life. Is it a safe country? And lastly, at the end, I'll be giving you some tips that you should be aware of. So stick to the end, that way you don't miss out, because this is very important if you're coming to Laos. Laos is actually pretty affordable compared to, let's say, Thailand and Cambodia and Indonesia, but not as cheap as Vietnam. When it comes to hostels, I think you can find hostels anywhere. I stayed in about, I think I stayed in about 3 different hostels, anywhere from $5 to $10 a night. I also stayed at hotels, and hotels I found in the big city and the other places that I went to, which was Vientiane, Vang Vieng, and Pak Se. It was between $15 and up. I did find a very cheap hostel in Vientiane where all the locals stay at, but it was a bit far from the city, maybe like a 7-minute scooter ride for about $8 a night. So there is cheaper accommodation, but you just gotta find it. You will not find it in Agoda, which is usually where I book my accommodation. Now food here is actually pretty affordable. I would say about the same price as Vietnam, or maybe just slightly more expensive. But a meal, if you're having the traditional normal Lao meals, they're somewhere between $2 to $3 to maybe $4 max. And a drink will cost you anywhere from $1.50 to $2, and that would be like a beer or a normal juice. I do know that sometimes you're here on holidays and you miss the food from home, so if you're eating Western food, it is a little bit pricier. Like a hamburger, a nice hamburger with French fries and a whole meal could cost you anywhere from $7 to about $8. So just keep that in mind, that the Western food is pricier, but still pretty affordable compared to where we're from. Now Laos is actually very well known for its tourism and activities that has available. There are no beaches in Laos because you're basically in the middle, surrounded by Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia. But there is awesome scenery here. One of the most beautiful mountains and rivers that I have seen in a long time. So here you can definitely find tons of temples, tons of waterfalls. Actually here in Pak Se, they have one of the largest waterfalls here in Asia. They also have tons and tons of big Buddhas everywhere. And one of the funnest things I did was going tipsy-tubing in Vang Vieng. I didn't get to go all the way up north to Luang Prabang, but I heard it's very beautiful over there, and also 4,000 Islands. I heard it's amazing. But yeah, there's definitely tons of tourism and activities to do here in nature if that's what you're about. There's also tons of mountains where you can hike and you can get epic views all around Laos. Also, something that I haven't seen in a while, the last time I saw one was in Indonesia, was blue lagoons. There's a lot of lagoons out here, especially in Vang Vieng. They have, I think, 6 different lagoons that you can visit, and not to mention very cheap. The entrance is only between 10,000 to 20,000 kip. That's one of the downsides I would say here in Laos. The transportation, it's probably not the best because it's not a well-developed country, so they don't have Grab here like in the other Asian countries. So it's very difficult to actually book a taxi or book a scooter taxi to take you around. But what I did was I would just rent a scooter. A scooter could cost you anywhere from 100,000 kip to 150,000 kip for the day, which it turns out to be a lot cheaper to rent a scooter than it is to be getting tuk-tuks everywhere, because the tuk-tuks are pretty pricey here. I would say anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000 kip. And the thing is that they're very hard to find. Now, when it comes to the police and having a license or getting stopped, I had no problems whatsoever, guys. Here, I drove everywhere. I never got stopped. I rarely saw any police. And I spoke to some of the locals and asked them, like, where's the police? Why don't I ever see any police? And they said, no, look, it's never an issue here. They don't try to stop you, or they're not corrupted, like, for example, in Thailand or Indonesia, where you see them stopping the foreigners and trying to get money out of them. That doesn't happen here, which is very nice. And I've seen 10, 12-year-old kids riding a scooter, no problem whatsoever. It's true freedom here in Laos. There are no rules, no problems, no issues. So yeah, the best thing you can do is just make sure that you know how to ride a scooter, rent a scooter wherever you arrive, and that would be the best way to get around. Before coming here, I heard that the culture is pretty strict. Like, for example, if you want to take a girl home, you have to actually marry her beforehand. I thought everything was going to be more traditional, a little bit more strict, but the culture here and the people are so chill and so relaxed and so friendly, guys. I cannot say anything bad about them. Everywhere I go, people treat me so nice. I don't know if it's because I'm an expat and they don't see a lot of expats, but they don't hassle you like in Indonesia and Thailand where they try to get you to buy stuff. None of that happens here, and they're very welcoming. And when I go to the club, always the people want to cheers with me, want to drink with me. They don't speak very good English. I would say here is where you find the people that speak the least amount of English all over Asia, but I have to admit they have a really nice heart and they treated me like family with open arms. And it's really one of the most things that I like the most about Laos. One of the ways that I can tell how the culture and the people are through my TikToks. I post TikToks, and normally when I arrive to a new city, I say, hey guys, my name is Christian, I just arrived to your country. Please give me some recommendations on what there is to do here. I'm really excited. And people will comment either good things or bad things. And here I got so many comments on TikTok, people being so positive and thanking me for coming to visit their country. So yeah, guys, I love the people from Laos. They are so nice, and I definitely will be coming back here, especially because of the people. The food, guys, I really have nothing bad to say. Usually if I don't like the food, I will tell you straight up, I don't like the food here. But here, the food is a bit of a combination from Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. They do have their own dishes, but yeah, they have like the papaya salad, they have pad thai, they have different noodle soup dishes. So the food here is very, very good. I liked it. They also have a lot of vegetables, a lot of vegetarian options, which is really, really good. I have nothing bad to say about the food, and most importantly, it's affordable and it's convenient to find. Something that is worth mentioning is that the restaurants here do close pretty early. Most of them close around 10 p.m. There are exceptions. For example, if you go out to party, right by the club, you would find little stalls and ladies selling the local food, but that's only around the club areas. If you're at your hotel, everything around you might be closed, especially in more of the rural areas. So it's just something to keep in mind if you're used to being in the other Asian countries where you can just order something off the Grab app. Here, they don't have that. So just make sure to stock up before you go home in case you do get hungry late at night. Safety. Here, guys, I was a bit concerned regarding the safety. I've had bad experiences in Cambodia, in the Philippines, in Indonesia, and I thought Laos being a very underdeveloped country, there would be a lot more crime. But to tell you the truth, I rarely see any homeless people in the streets or people begging. Like, sometimes there are, but very rarely. You do see little kids out in the streets, but they don't beg for money. They're actually selling stuff. And a lot of the time I tried to give them money and I'm like, no, you don't have to sell me anything, it's just for you to keep, but they would never take my money. And I spoke to one of the locals and she said it's because they feel bad taking your money. They want to give you something in return. So yeah, guys, here the crime and the safety is actually really, really safe country. You won't have any issues whatsoever. I'll walk out in the streets 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I've actually been in Vang Vieng and I started partying with some locals. I was completely fucked up and they were giving me opium. And I was live streaming and a lot of people were worried for me, but to tell you the truth, they didn't do anything to me. They just wanted for me to party with them, have a good time, and they were the friendliest people, and I had not have any issues whatsoever here when it comes to safety. Party and the nightlife. Guys, man, I'm telling you, the party here is dope. One of the funnest parties I've had in a very long time. Especially because there are a lot of backpackers around here. For example, in Vang Vieng, the party was just ridiculous. Oh my God, it was so fun. Everyone was just getting loose, getting weird, and the alcohol here is fairly affordable. Even at the clubs and at the pubs and at the bars, the prices are about the same price as what you get at the convenience store. So here, everybody gets loose, everybody gets weird, and when it comes to narcotics, you can basically find whatever you want. I know here that it's very strict if they catch you with any stuff or marijuana or any other kind of things that they sell out here. But the reality is that everyone is very open, very easygoing about these things, and there was a lot of bars where you can go and you get a private menu where it's like a happy menu and you can get anywhere from mushrooms, weed, opium, ketamine, and all those good stuff. But you do need to be careful because sometimes at these bars they tell you everything that you buy here you have to consume here, because if you go out, sometimes the police they kind of trick you and you could be fined or could end up in jail. So just be careful and be wary, but all those things you can definitely find here. And the party, guys, I've never been to a club where you can take your shirt off. Here I've been to so many clubs and the locals just take their shirt off, they're showing their tattoos, they're doing balloons, they're drinking, they're having fun. And being an expat here, you stand out, you're very special. So a lot of the time, guys, I'll go to the club by myself, I'll end up talking to some locals, they come party with me, and then sometimes they even offer me their friends. They're like, oh, are you have a girlfriend? No, I don't have a girlfriend. Oh, she's single, she likes you, blah, blah, blah. And I've never been eye fucked so much in my life, guys. Here, everyone looks at me, the girls are like really attracted to me, and it's amazing, guys. It's fun. I really had a good time here. Now when it comes to like the lady bar scene and all that stuff, it doesn't really exist like in Thailand and other countries that I've been to. It's kind of underground, but the word in the streets is that some of the nightclubs are about that. And if you look at the girls and they have a back tattoo, that's the sign that they're willing to go home with you in exchange for cash. I never did it because I didn't have to, but it's just something that I think it's important for you guys to know, that it is available here. It's just a little bit more discreet. As I mentioned before, I had great success here with the ladies. They like me a lot for some reason, and I think if you look like me or if you're an expat, I think you would have similar reactions. I did try like Tinder, Bumble, and Badoo, but I didn't really have much success, it looked like the girls don't really use that a lot here. I think the best way to pick up is face-to-face, out in the streets, or going out to the nightclubs. But very much like Vietnam, the girls here are very attracted to the foreigners, and because they don't really come across them very often, you stand out a lot, and the possibilities of you being able to pick up a girl or take a girl home or date a girl are very big. Now the girls are very traditional here, so in face-to-face and in public, they don't really like to show too much affection or show that they like you, but behind closed doors is a whole different story, because of the fact that, as you guys know, there is the rule here that if you want to take a girl home, sometimes the hotel checks to see if you guys are married, but that never really happened to me. I went to different hotels, I would take a lady home, and I never had issues. As a matter of fact, quite the opposite. They were very welcoming and very like comforting to whoever I brought. So yeah, guys, I really have had a good time here with the girls. They're very lovely, they're very friendly, they're very sweet, and they're very caring, and most importantly, they're not freelancers like in Thailand. Like in Thailand, guys, I rarely was with a girl because of the fact that all of them were asking for money, they expected something in return, and it was just a really gross interaction. As in here, it's very wholesome, it's very genuine, and I actually had really nice connections with the girls here. So yeah, I highly recommend Laos when it comes to that sense. Now, I am a young guy, so I don't know how it would be if you're just a little bit older, but there's definitely older ladies out here that you can definitely date. And to tell you the truth, man, the Laos girls are very beautiful. I would say just as beautiful like in Vietnam, very similar in that sense. And yeah, I really like the girls here. Their facial features and their body, they're all slim and tiny and just very sweet overall. But yeah, that's really it. Now, I did promise you guys to give you some tips for the people that plan to come here, and one of the tips is the SIM card. So the SIM card that I use is called Unitel, and it's been great, guys. So the internet here has been pretty good. In some places it doesn't work perfectly, but I would say 85 to 90% of the time it was flawless. I was able to live stream anywhere I went, which is what's most important. And the prices, for example, I got for 99K, I got 80 gigabytes of internet, and it includes some minutes for you to use the phone, which I rarely use, or you can get 30 gigabytes of internet for 50K. It's very affordable. And now if you want to top up your SIM card, what you do is that you'll go to these little stores and these little convenience stores, and you'll see that they have the sign of Unitel there. You go to the lady and you ask them, I want to buy 50K of Unitel, and they'll give you these little cards. And you download the app of Unitel and you just You scratch the card and you put in the number there, it tops it up, and then you add the data package that you want. It's actually very, very simple. Another app that's important to download if you want to be using taxis or Grab scooters is called Loca. I'll leave it down in the description. This is the local app that they use for transportation. It's like the Grab for Laos. So yeah, I used it only once because I would just rent a scooter everywhere, but it's just good to have, especially if you arrive to the airport and you want to get a cheap deal. That's probably the best way to get around. As you guys can see, I have really enjoyed my time here in Laos. I definitely underestimated this country by a lot. I did not expect it to be so cool, so free, and the best way I can explain it is that it's kind of like the 70s. Everyone is just so chill, so relaxed, so laid back. So I definitely recommend you guys check out Laos if it's not on your itinerary, because it's still very untouched by the tourism and still very wholesome. But anyways, if you have any other questions, please leave them down below in the comment section. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if I brought you any value. And I really look forward to the next country that we're leaving to tomorrow. I'll see you next time. CRIS Rodriguez, bye.